Hello, guys. Happy Sunday. I know I usually do these on Monday, but I've had a lot weighing on my heart, and I had seen some things just popping up on Facebook or people that we know, and um, just had a lot weighing on my heart. We had a really good church service today and a really great Sunday, and it's been a really good weekend so far, and I'm really happy and still got my makeup and dress on from church. So I thought, well, I'm just going to go ahead and do our episode today. And go ahead and talk about some things I've been thinking about lately. Um, anyway, I hope everyone has had a really wonderful Sunday so far. Like I said, we had a really great church service today, and there was someone there that was giving away some of her plants and things today and was saying, please take one. So I've got a really pretty plant now that I put in my jewelry room with some of my other plants and things where I sit back there and make my jewelry, and it's real bright and sunny back there. So I think it's going to be a good place for my new plant. I'm also going to start, since it's Sunday, I wanted to start with a Meredith Andrews song. It's one of my favorite songs, and it's called Not for a Moment, and it's a really awesome song. So I'm going to go ahead and get that started for you guys. We'll go ahead and listen to that, and then we'll get started with the episode today. I've got a lot, like I said, I wanted to talk about with y'all today, and just to me in my life, I feel like I got a lot to be thankful and a lot to be blessed for. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and unpause this. That way we can go ahead and get the music started. Alright guys, let me get back up here like I usually do for the episode. So that's one of my favorite Christian songs. I just love it. I've always thought it was really pretty. And when I was going through my divorce, when I was married to my ex-husband, a lot of these songs helped get me through my day as I started my life again. And then I met Sean, and we started dating not long after I was on my own again. And I remember cooking him dinner, and he came over, and bless his heart, he really doesn't like a lot of Mexican food, but I was like, I'm making tacos tonight if you want to come over. I think he wanted to see me, and but he was polite, and he ate the tacos and the Mexican rice and stuff. So but I remember putting this song on, and we slow danced in my kitchen to this song, and I don't know, it's just a really pretty song. I've always liked it. So but some things have been weighing on my heart. Sean and I had both been married before, so I'm not criticizing or chastising divorce, because I was with the wrong guy. He just wasn't for me, and as much as I tried to make a home and try to make a life, he fought me tooth and nail on it. Didn't want any part of what marriage is supposed to be, what it states in our Bible. With him, I couldn't even hardly touch him, love on him. He didn't want to do that either. He wasn't a touchy-feely kind of guy. Don't touch me. Not unless it was, well, I don't want to get too, if it was during that, okay, but any other time, he didn't want his handheld, anything like that. Not like my Sean. I'm very blessed now, and and he was with the wrong person too. The good thing about that was he got his son out of that deal. So, and Gabe is a terrific kid, and it's blessed my life being able to be part of his life too, and be his second mom. So, bonus mom. So, and I'm super proud of him. But, so I'm not condoning or condemning divorce by any means when it's necessary. And I was in an abusive relationship. He was alcoholic. He was emotionally abusive all the time. And just neglectful. Like I said, he didn't want to snuggle, cuddle, any of that kind of stuff. And it just was a very lonely life most of the time. I'm not going to say that everything about it was bad, but there was a lot more bad than good. So, and Sean was pretty miserable too, and she just kind of up one day and said, I don't love you and I want a divorce. And he's like, so, and that's none of my business what all happened with them. And I've told him, I'm kind of an open book, and it helped me to talk about the things I went through with my ex, and he's told me things about what happened with his situation. But we were with the wrong people, and I feel like we both had definitely a good reason to get divorced, and a good biblical Christian reason to get divorced. Both of us did. So I'm not condoning it or condemning it, but I've seen it so much lately on Facebook, and people that have been married multiple times, or even their second marriage. Like, I don't want to say names of anybody or people that I might know, but just seeing somebody pop up that was through the moon in love with her husband. He was like the best thing that ever happened to her. Her best friend. Heck, when they first got married, it was post after post on how much she loved him and this and that, and how much he was so good for her, and she never thought she could be loved like that. And now they're getting divorced. I'm just like, and this is your second marriage. Surely this one is the right one, is what I would be thinking, because, and this is my personal opinion, but this is both me and Sean's second marriage, and we're glad that we found each other. For me and him, it truly is second time's a charm. And I don't know what I would do without Sean. And that's why I started thinking about stuff this weekend after I saw some posts, and I started listening to some of these songs, and I remembered this song and how me and Sean had danced to it. And I'm not going to sit here and tell y'all that we don't ever fight or argue, because that will be a lie. And the first couple years of marriage were a little bit volatile because Sean and I were a whirlwind. We fell in love really fast, really quick with each other, and we were married like that. Like that song, that Johnny Cash song that he sings with Gene, got married in a fever hotter than a pepper sprout. That was me and Sean. So the first couple years especially, we were getting to know each other more. You know, we were married and together all the time, and that wasn't always a good thing. You know, you have moments and you have times where things were bad, but neither one of us ever thought about walking out on the other. We love each other too much. And me and Sean, I guess, is one of them things. We're not just lovers, we're just best friends too. I mean, I can talk to him about anything, he can come talk to me. And just seeing other people going through this lately, and even someone who's been married 4 or 5 times now is divorced again, and I'm just like, good grief, how many times are you going to get married and divorced? I mean, I'm not trying to criticize anybody, but I feel strongly about it. I'm like, what's the problem with committing to somebody and working things out, doing whatever you've got to do, sit down, communicate, counseling, whatever you've got to do to make it work? I guess I just don't understand, especially as a Christian woman. But, you know, I can sit here and say that, but yes, me and Sean were both divorced before. But like I said, we were with the wrong person, but we got a second chance at life, at happiness, with being with a person that makes you happy. And we both grabbed it. I mean, with both hands, we just grabbed and held on. And him at me, and he's like, oh, it just happened so fast. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, we started dating and he proposed within like a month. I was like, what? I was like, what's that in your pocket, babe? I sit there, he finally pulled it. He's like, I've been trying to get enough courage to give you this. And I thought it was jewelry or something, you know, just like a necklace or earrings, because we were pretty serious even then. You know, we were moving pretty quick. But man, I opened it up and it was an engagement ring. I was like, yes. So, kind of a sweet moment. And it's little moments like that that I remember, and I take pictures all the time, and I love to go back on Facebook and look at our albums of when we got married at the courthouse, and then our little church wedding ceremony, pictures of Gabe and us as a family when he was little. So many good and happy moments. And like I said, things have not always been perfect with me and Sean. We've had our ups and downs, roller coaster. Things were volatile the first couple of years because we got married so quick and fast. We really still didn't know everything about each other, our habits, or our health issues, mental issues, things we had going on. So we had our moments. I'm not going to lie to y'all. We had our moments. We had fights and arguments, some pretty bad. We both said things that we regretted saying. Like, I happened to see that on this Facebook post, and it was some comments like, yeah, it's completely over. There's a lot of drama, unnecessary drama. And I'm thinking, well, I mean, have you even tried? And then there was another comment, something about that was said on there was like, what was that on their post? Things have been said that can't be unsaid. Well, yes, they can, because me and Sean have had arguments. We've had fights. We've had issues where we've said some pretty horrible things to each other. I'm not going to lie. We're not perfect. We may be Christian people, we're not perfect. Everybody has their issues. Everybody has their problems. And Lord knows, I'm going to be honest, I don't want to be struck down by lightning. We've had our issues. but we have always worked it out. We have always made up. We've always talked about things. And if you can do that and keep the lines of communication open and sit down and hear each other, and if you can't do that, try counseling. See, my ex-husband wouldn't go anywhere near a counselor. He didn't want any part of it. He didn't even want to try. We both knew it was over. Yes, I understand when it gets to that point. And especially if one drinks all the time, alcoholic, they don't want to go to church. And me, like, I wanted to go to church. I want to start doing that again. I want to embrace my Christian roots, and I wanted to go to church. So when it's at an impasse, sorry guys, I had an issue with my stuff again. I found some old video I needed to delete off my tablet and that so I could keep going. But anyway, sorry, I've been kind of fired up about some of this, you know, just talking about it. But I just, you know, it breaks my heart to see people going through these things, because if you can work it out and stay together and love each other. I know me and Sean, we're both pretty much touchy-feely kind of people, and words of affirmation, we're both like that. And like I said, we've not always been perfect either, and we've definitely had our volatile moments and ups and downs. Hey y'all, I'm back. I keep having some issues with this tablet, and it's cut me off twice now and quit recording, so I've kind of lost a little bit of my train of thought. But I was just trying to talk to y'all about kind of my feelings on that. But just trying to get back into what I was saying. But it's been really sad to me to see people just like give up like that, because God wants you to have these beautiful and loving marriages, and no, they're not perfect, and everybody's going to have their ups and down days and that. But I just think that if you put God in the center of your home, and you can love each other through thick and thin, through sickness, through illnesses, through fights, you can make it. You just need to sit down and talk to each other and have that communication and have that love and respect for each other, you know. And sometimes, like we've even had to just give each other a little space for a little while, and then we come back and, you know, have that time together again. And hey, making up's fun too, right? So that's what Charlotte said, the making up's fun, right? But I don't know, it's just some stuff I had seen on Facebook that just like I said, several different people that we knew or acquaintances on Facebook. And you know, I'm proud. Sean and I just had our 10-year wedding anniversary, and I'm proud of us that, you know, we do love each other, and we're trying to stay together and keep building our life together with each other. And I love him more and more every day, and he says that to me. Like one day he said, he was teasing me, he goes, I don't love you anymore. And I'm like, what? He goes, I love you more today than I did yesterday. I love you more every day. I'm like, really? You turkey butt. But anyway, so yeah, he's a joker, he is. He kind of keeps things interesting and lively. I guess he and I, you know, like I said, we've had our ups and downs too. I'm water element, he's fire element. We do have a lot of things in common and a lot of common ground, and then we have things we differ on too, or things that we kind of agree, or we're different, or everybody has their own opinions and differences. But if you can talk about things and still love each other at the end of the day, or just sometimes agree to disagree, it's being grown and mature. And the one that I found to be truly sad on Facebook was, so she marries this man and loves him. You can tell, over the moon loves this man. And he's brought to the marriage 3 children. She was a stepmom of 3, plus had a a daughter of her own, but and I thought, well, what about these children now? They love you and they think of you like their second mom, like their bonus mom, and now you're not going to be in their life, I guess. I mean, if you're divorcing the father, they already have their mother too, from I guess when he was married before. So what does that mean for her? She's never going to get to see these little girls. She's not going to be their mom anymore. It's like, to me, the two adults need to think about the children too. I married not just Sean, but I got my stepson out of the deal. And I love that kid. He's my son too. I've said that before in some of my other episodes. Blood or not, that boy's my son too, because I've helped raise him and I love him just as much as any mom would love a child. And the thought of something happening with me and Sean ever and not getting to see him too, that would just break my heart. I could not do that. So I don't know. There's a lot of factors to me that people need to really sit down and think about before they get married or when they're married. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not trying to criticize anybody or say you're wrong or whatever. That maybe they have their reasons for getting divorced, but for me it's like a lot of the people I've seen, this is like second marriage or more, and I'm just thinking, how in the world? I can understand one messing up, because Sean and I both came from messed up marriages. We were with the wrong people. I was, he was. But, like I said, we got our second chance at life and to be happy, and we're hanging on to it. You have to ride through the storms. Life isn't always sunshine and roses. You have to be able to sit down and talk to each other. You have to love each other even when you're mad at each other. Yeah, he's been mad at me or I've been mad at him, but at the end of the day, we love each other with all our heart, and for me, just to be in a marriage where I know my husband loves me, he tells me on a daily basis, multiple times a day, how much he loves me, or that I'm beautiful, or you're so pretty, or, oh, just tell me things like, thank you for all you do around the house, or he'll, you're, like when Gabe was there, you're good with Gabe, thank you for being a good mom to him when he's here, or just, I'm just trying to think of all these different things, like I know I'm loved, and it felt good at church today, and I can't understand why people would make a statement, I'd rather be alone. I'd just rather be alone. No, you don't want to be alone. You know what? Nothing felt better than sitting next to my husband in church today with his strong, warm arm around my shoulders, and feeling him next to me, holding his hand as we prayed in church today. That's love and companionship, and that's something that no, ma'am. It's not better to be alone. It's not. I enjoy having my husband by my side. He's my strength, and I'm his comfort, and that's how it should be. The woman and man are different, and you have to take those differences and hold each other up. And I'm not trying to preach to people today, and like I've told y'all, my own marriage is not perfect, but I love him and he loves me, and there's nothing like having him by my side. Yeah, I may have to go nudge him if he's snoring, but you know what? I could not imagine being in this bed alone without him. Just his comforting breathing, him laying beside me warm at night, knowing he's there is comforting. It feels good to know he's there. And I respect him in return. I tell him how happy I am with how hard he works, how much he provides for this family, what a good dad he is to his son, what a good husband he is. I tell him thank you when he helps me with the little things that maybe I'm too tired to do that day, but he'll pick up the slack for me. or send the dogs out to potty, or help feed the dogs, or feed the goats or the horse. And we work with each other to help. Like I told him, he was saying, man, the yard really needs to be mowed today. I said, you know what? Don't worry about it. Tomorrow, I have no plans. I have nothing to do. So I'll mow it tomorrow. Just get the mower out where I don't have to back it out or anything, and all that's good to go. And I'll mow tomorrow. It's little things like that you can do for each other to help each other. There's been times Sean and I's had a blast in the kitchen cooking together. You know, like he taught me how to make his hamburger soup. It's delicious. And I knew he had a lot to do yesterday. He wanted to go to the station because he had to work Friday up at XPO, his job. And he's usually off on Fridays to go do some fire department stuff and truck checks. So he wanted to go do that yesterday. And I just wanted to stay home and take care of stuff after I got groceries. So I made his hamburger soup. And he was so proud of me and said, oh, this tastes so good. You did a really good job, Boo. And that makes me feel good, you know. And seeing him happy and eating. There's some women that, these modern women or whatever they consider themselves to be now, I'm independent, I'm modern. Well, you know what? I don't mind making my husband's bowl or his plate and bringing it to him, or bringing him a drink, or bringing the food to my stepson, Gabe, when he's over, making their plate and bringing it to him. I enjoy doing that. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I enjoy those things. I'm not modern to that respect. Yes, I can take care of myself and things that I need to do, but I enjoy taking care of them. You know what? He would do it for me. And there's been times I've been sick and could not do for myself that my husband has taken care of me when I've been down, or he's helped me when I've had a really painful day with my back. People might have noticed in church, my lower back gets to hurting, and my hips and things like that. My husband, when he stands up at church and we're going to stand up to sing, gives me his arm and his hand immediately and helps lift me to my feet. Y'all, that's a real man. That's a loving man. That's a man that loves me. And you know what? I did not have that in my first marriage. I will tell y'all that right now. I did not have that kind of love. That kind of care about me kind of love. And I'm able to do those things for him that I couldn't do in my first marriage. So yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say that you shouldn't get divorced, because me and him have been. But like I said, we got our second chance. This is our second time to be happy, and we are, and we're going to stick to it. And he and I are going to do anything we can to always stay together and be there for each other. I told him, we're going to grow old together, honey. We're going to be on our little rocking chairs out on the front porch. You're going to be my old goat and I'll be your old hen. But we're going to be together. You can guarantee that. We put God first in our home. We try to be godly and loving to each other and be the kind of Christian people and the kind of people that follow Jesus, and put that in our marriage. And I'm not criticizing those that haven't. For whatever reasons, they've not stuck with their spouses. And that's not my business. But they put it on Facebook. People are going to read it. People are going to have an opinion about it. And that's my opinion. And especially when there's children involved. Y'all should sit down and talk. Not just be all this, oh, it's over. Oh, it's over. Things have been said that can't be undone. No, honey. Things have not been said that cannot be undone. Y'all sit down, y'all talk about it, y'all hold each other's hands, y'all pray together, and you will be fine. You can work it out and get back together. And especially for them little children. Them little children that call you mama, that love you, that's going to be out of your life now. But, you know, I don't know. I don't want to sound like I'm judgmental, but I get fired up about stuff, and I do have opinions on stuff like that. And I mean, I was in a bad marriage when I was married to my ex-husband, but it probably lasted longer than it should have, because I was stubborn. I grew up in a home where my parents stayed together and were married, so I tried to work it out for as long as I could before it was done. But Sean and I, we're different. We both were like, this is it for us. We want to be married. We love each other and we want to stay together. And, you know, we're not too proud or pig-headed to tell each other that we're sorry when we've done something wrong. And not everything's always been his fault. Sometimes it's been my fault too. Oh, you guys, I'm having so many issues with this tablet today, but okay, like I was trying to say before I got cut off, sometimes you just have to be woman enough to apologize too, especially when they're man enough to apologize to you when they're wrong too, and hold you and say, you know what, I was wrong, you know, I'm sorry I said that or whatever. So I just think people can like try to get along and do that. So just try to be there for each other. And you guys, I don't know how all this is going to turn out today, because I've got about two longer video clips plus a shorter one. I'm going to try to piece all this together on WeVideo, but because I really wanted to bring this to y'all today. I've just had issues with this tablet, but Sean's going to help me with that too. He's great about stuff. Well, y'all, I'm still having issues. Like I was saying, Sean's great. He's going to try to help me with my podcast next week. He's going to try to show me how to use the Chromebook, because this tablet, I'm having issues with storage, and every time I go in and delete or do something, it's messing up. So I may have to call this episode done for today, because I'm having issues, like I said, with it continuing to do this, and I don't know why. But I love you guys. Thank y'all for following me, listening. Like I said, I'm not trying to criticize anybody. I'm just saying, try to love each other. Try to work things out. God brought you together for a reason. God brought me and Sean together for a reason, and to give us that second chance at happiness, and to have a life together and a family together, and just love him and love her, and you know, y'all just get along, love each other, and that would be my advice. Just try. Just really try. Like I said, I can't imagine my life without him, and he's the same way. He's like, I don't know what I'd do without you, you know. We just love each other. Like I said, we're not perfect by any means. We've had our ups and downs, share of issues, but we've managed to stay together and for 10 years so far, and hopefully many, many more to come. Like I told him, I want to grow old with him. He'll be my old goat, and I'm his old hen, but life is better together, and I don't understand comments where you'd rather be alone, because like I said, I can't even imagine a more wonderful feeling than having my husband's arm around me at church today and holding his hand as we prayed. There's just nothing like having your soulmate, your love, your best friend right there beside you through life. So that would be my comments and final comments on all that today. And I usually pull up our page too and read stuff, but I'm so afraid my tablet's going to go out again and quit recording on me. I just don't know. Right now it's still going. Knock on wood, I'm praying. Like I said, I love you guys. Thanks for following. Thanks for listening. Thanks for letting me speak my mind and say what's weighing on my heart. And I hope you all have a really wonderful rest of your Sunday. Well, last time, y'all, it cut off on me again. So, like I said, hopefully next week I'm going to have this problem fixed. So I'm going to go ahead and end this. Like I said, thank y'all all for following the videos that I've been posting. Thank y'all for listening on the Pink Ladies Club. I love all of you guys. Thank you for listening to this old girl speak her mind. It's helping me. I hope it's helping y'all out there. And like I said, I hope y'all have a very blessed and wonderful Sunday, and the rest of your week, I hope it's truly amazing. Remember, each and every one of y'all, you're strong, you're beautiful, you are something special, and don't ever let anybody tell you that you're not. So, love you guys, and have a really wonderful afternoon. Bye.